All right. Let's go. Someday, eventually, when the loading screen finishes. All right. And now we wait. And wait. And wait some more. Actually, it's probably only about a minute more. Assuming this loads at roughly the same rate as a normal X4 game, which actually I'm not sure about. Might be longer than that. But I think this does have a larger map than normal X4. It seems like it has a larger map. Yeah, I don't know. Regardless, here we sit waiting. Although not for much longer. After all, it is at almost 90%. I've noticed the loading has a few little hitches near the end, where it'll stop and sit at a certain percentage for a while and then suddenly zoom ahead. I don't think it does that vanilla, but... Okay, where are we at? What were we doing? We're parked at a wharf, and I'm not sure what we were doing. We have some miners running around, and we have 1.7 million in the bank at the moment. The Pretender has a couple more trading missions to do, it looks like. None of which will pay out very much.
Requesting permission to dock.
Docking permission granted.
Build a station. Escort some ships. Let's try doing this mission. It probably won't let us do it because we're hostile to the ship we're supposed to be protecting. But let's try it. And matter of fact, I think it immediately canceled the mission as soon as we accepted it. Oops. Let's see what the
known criminal identified.
messages say. Yeah. It canceled instantly the second we accepted it. That is extremely annoying, and I wish it wouldn't do that, but oh well. Oh well. Let's go find a spot to park. And try to pick a mission that will pay out. Destroy mines for a pittance. Yeah, there's nothing here that pays out very well. Oh well.
Civilian ship A.
Oh, that reminds me. I was going to look up, see if there was something wrong with this mod's, what do I call it? Hello? Is it just not targeting him properly? Oh, not another one of these. The ghost ship. It's not aiming at him properly. Okay, well. I guess that's just the way it is sometimes. What's this station over here? You know what? I don't care. Let's take a look at the map. Alright, so we have the Pretender doing work. I really should start worrying about dropping satellites, I think. Probably. Problem is they're so expensive for large satellites. Okay, we're at 1.9 million. Perhaps more importantly, let's take a poke around here and see what we can figure out about mineable goods. Okay, you're not buying silicon. You're not buying silicon. Probably because they're overfilled on those. I don't think you're buying it either. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, let's search for silicon. Oops. Let's search for silicon ore. Ore is bought quite cheaply. But there are large quantities in stock, or large quantities that need to be sold. Like, there's actually people buying it. The question is, should I go ahead and get an ore miner running? Why does it say it has negative 1,000 some odd million? Ore. That is very odd. How do you get negative ore in a system? Okay. And that number doesn't look... That number doesn't line up with any expected... Well, here's more negative resources. Weird. Okay. How's that even happen? So yeah, like this one here's got negative 954 million ice. It's like not possible. Very weird. Are there any other negative amounts around here? Negative 743 million ice. Negative ore, negative silicon. Hello, Ash. Welcome here. What ship do I have? Still the TIE Defender. I bought other ones, but this is still the best one for personally flying around in. I don't really have access to a whole lot of people who are willing to sell me ships at the moment, unfortunately. Anyway, I guess there's no point worrying about. Got the Nebulon B? No. They're a little expensive. Actually, do these guys sell Nebulon Bs? Yeah, I don't even have the rep to... That's another thing that's bothering me. I have not got the rank up mission for this faction, and I should have a long time ago. So I'm wondering if something's broken. That would be very distressing. Trying to figure out if I want to buy another miner is the thing. Okay, so we have negative ore in this system. I'm going to fly down there
Jump beacon. Hov.
and see if I can figure out what's going on. Or if it's just a display bug. I'm going to look around and see if we can find some more asteroids. Confirm there actually is ore there. And if I can't find ore there, then... well, I don't know. But I probably should buy a miner and set it up. Even though ore doesn't make much, it'll make some. Also, we need to steer around this asteroid so we don't hit it. Alright.
Jump
Gate.
completed. Hov. Jump beacon. Estignaha.
It's not how Hoth is pronounced. I'm not sure exactly what the game uses to announce system names, but I'm reasonably sure they're not pre-recorded. So I guess it'd be some kind of text-to-speech then. They could be pre-recorded. If I was writing the game, the way I would do it would be some kind of text-to-speech engine. But I would use a... well, actually I don't know if I'd use a text-to-speech engine or not. I would be inclined to make them with a text-to-speech engine if I didn't have the money to do
Jump
pre-recorded.
completed. Estignaha.
But I'd also be really tempted to do it pre-recorded because it'll just give you better quality. Okay,
Asteroid.
that one's got some more in it. For sure.
Asteroid.
Yeah, there's ore asteroids here. It must just be a display bug. That's ice, it looks like.
Asteroid.
Yeah.
Asteroid.
And silicon.
Asteroid.
And empty.
Asteroid.
Let's do a little bit of pew-pew laser action here.
Acclamator 1 transport.
No,
Asteroid.
there we go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's definitely ore here. So at 2 million, let's go ahead and buy another miner. No. Actually, wait. Can I buy any large miners? Highly unlikely I could afford it. Yeah. Yeah, we can't afford a large miner. Not yet. Let's see where would be the best place to buy one of these. Action for miner with the basic miner preset, 1.6 million. Yeah, or if we buy it over here, we want an action for miner with the miner preset is 1.7. All right. Let's try this place. They don't sell them. Okay. This is where we're buying our miner then. Yeah. Action for miner, basic miner preset. They're short on durasteel plates, but that's fine, I guess. Alright. How much do they want? Also, I'm pretty sure there's no food shortages of any real note. Unfortunately, I can't afford a food rations. Yeah. They're not even close to the best place to sell food. And the best place to buy food is just south of them. I'm tempted to take this mission. There's no time limit. Although I'm not sure what triggers the end of the mission. So I'm a little worried about it. Deliver 2 times unstable crystals. That's a reasonable payout. I don't think I have any unstable crystals, though. If I did, I would go do it right away. Yeah, I don't. Alright. As far as that miner goes, it has not even started building yet and probably won't for a little while. Okay. So what is the Pretender doing? Pretender still has at least a few more trades. Looks like it's doing this trade, which is buy medical supplies. And then it has this one, which is sell medical supplies. And then it should be done. Okay, good deal. Yeah. After that, I'm tempted to go buy some hull plates. Oops. There we go. Durasteel plates. Who sells them? Looks like trading Durasteel plates would be not unreasonable because there's a pretty sizable market for them. I know I want to start building them at my station here. Or what is notionally someday going to be a station there. If I can ever find a construction vessel. Okay, how many satellites do I have? 4. I really need more satellites than that, but it's also they're really expensive. I should probably go scatter a few of those satellites around. I did put one over there. So if I put another one here, that would cover the wharf. I wish when you went to place a satellite, you could see the radius before you placed it. Where else should I put satellites? Probably the question I should be asking. I think we'll put one right there. Yeah. Do you want to do that before? Here. We'll place a satellite here, actually.
Autopilot engaged.
And then we'll place one out here. And then we'll build one here. So that'll be 3 of our 4. And probably put one over here then. Start getting Bespin covered. Well, here we're having a fine example of an early early example of multi-threading in video games. Sound engines that continue working when the main thread's locked up. Sound engines have been multi-threaded for a long, long time. However, you shouldn't just multi-thread your sound engine. You should also multi-thread whatever's managing your sound engine, so that it doesn't do things like continuously repeat the last sound it was playing over and over again. which obviously whoever wrote this game had never learned.
Jump completed. Matao.
Oh well. My complaints about the skills of other programmers are many and long. Ooh. Ooh. Where? Where was it? Where was it, damn you? Did we just pass it? Where's the pretender? Okay, I'm pretty sure it wasn't around the pretender. We must have just passed it. Alright, let's drop this and go straight back where we came.
Autopilot disengaged. Jump beacon. Hub.
Alright, we're out of here. Because that alert was the "you just spotted a construction ship somewhere" alert. More specifically, a friendly construction ship. It could have been spotted by one of these. Where? Where's it at? Okay, yes. The hostile one doesn't count. Pretty sure I didn't just pass one. I'm gonna be so annoyed if I can't find this damn thing. Location, Bespin. There we go. There it is. Fire for building. Hoth Solar Power Plant. Ooh, they changed the price to 150,000? Okay, well anyway. Yay, we've hired a builder. Okay. That's awesome. Builder has been hired. Now, let's go place the satellite over here like we had planned to do. I'm glad that wasn't a busy ship. Would have been very disappointed if I couldn't hire him. Okay. Resources needed. A lot of them. How much is this going to cost me? 2 million? Okay, well, we'll start by giving you... 500,000, let's say. What's this place even have on it? Refined metal production? Okay. So we are going to want to assign our action for a miner to mine for that station eventually.
Jump completed. Bespin.
We'll be able to produce our own refined metals. Not that it will help us that much. Okay.
Autopilot disengaged.
So we keep getting messages because we have discovered a mining, or not mining ship, construction ship. However, at the moment I don't need a construction ship, so let's go turn that alert off. Which we can helpfully do just by clicking the little mute button right there. I think that disables it completely, rather than just silencing it. But in any case, it doesn't matter. Okay, so the next one will go over here.
Autopilot engaged.
Yeah, that should be the right place for it. And my last one... Don't know if I should put it over here by the free port. Ideally, I'd like to build one out here too, but... Anyway. What resources are even needed? Energy cells, module prefabs, and durasteel plates. Okay. So I guess module prefabs are taking the place of Claytronics or whatever. Computronic substrates, whatever they're called again. Computronic substrate, I think it is actually. No, wait, that's the Terran thing. Damn it. I can't remember the names of the basic commodities.
Autopilot disengaged.
Alright. Do I want to cover the Tabana refinery? Or do I want to go over to this system and cover something more interesting? Decisions. Actually, we should probably drop one here by our own. Well, actually, I don't know if our own power plant will reveal some area around itself or not. Well, it's not a power plant, but anyway. Probably would be good to put one here between the ore refinery and graphene refinery. Or over here where it for sure covers the gate. If you put one right here beside the graphene refinery, it should cover all three of these.
Autopilot engaged.
It's going to be a while before we have the whole system, all these systems covered. Meanwhile, our new miner is under construction. The Pretender has finished its task and is headed back to park, which is good. Our new miner is eventually going to be assigned to the Hoth solar power plant, which, once again, it's not a solar power plant. It's going to be a metal refinery. It does have a little bit of solar production on it. Although, honestly, I don't know why I bothered. Because Hoth has very low solar output. Anyway, it's been a long time before this is finished. "22-minute build time for energy cell production."
Completed. Matao.
Did they significantly slow down the speed of construction? Guess we'll find out in a minute. Wow. A bunch of minutes, but... So I don't remember how long a solar plant normally takes to build. There's no way it took 20 minutes each. I don't think. Anyway. Let's see. The new Action 4 will be done shortly. I should probably assign it here. I should probably assign it to mine here. And sell to any neighboring system. That will allow us to sell to our own station eventually or someday when it gets available to purchase ores. Until then, we'll just have it mine ores in here.
Jump completed. Huff.
So,
Awaiting orders.
fly and wait. Go ahead and check your individual instructions. What are the trade restrictions I have? Only sell to the orange boys? I don't think that's going to matter in this case. What was I even using that restriction for? Okay, so we don't have any restrictions we care about. For behavior, we'll do advanced auto mine. Add ore. You want to do... Where's that? There we go. Max gate distance to mine, set to 0. To sell.
Jump completed. Estigna.
We'll leave that at 4. Sure, why not? There. And let's go ahead and delete the fly and wait condition, because that'll just result in and wait being a thing when we don't want it to be later.
Autopilot disengaged.
Okay, deploy a satellite. Our last one. Good. It just barely covers everything we want covered. Perfect. Now for this system, we really need another 1 or 2 to cover these, another 1 to cover this. Ideally 1 to cover that, 1 out in the middle somewhere. Yeah, we need a lot more satellites. Unfortunately, we can't afford any of that crap. Because we are at less than $500,000 at the moment, considering we just spent all of it. Oh. Where are your ties, Pretender? I thought I ordered 1 to scout out here, and apparently I never did. Alright, well, I'm okay with that, I guess. Doesn't really matter, because there's nothing out here that I actually care about in any way. Whatever happened to that Vong station I discovered? And where did I discover that again? Oh well, doesn't matter. At the moment. Might someday, but currently it does not. The only red ships I see often are Imperial Ascendancy, and they appear to have better things to do than shoot at me. Probably because they're in... I don't know... I wonder if there's a restriction where your enemies won't shoot at you if they're in a system that is owned by somebody who's friendly to you and them. Probably not, because I think if I flew too close to them, I'd still get fired at. But they don't seem to actually try to go shoot my ships down or anything. Which is not necessarily what I would expect. Okay. We do have some resources on the way. But we're going to need a lot more money to pay for this thing. And then we need a lot more money to pay for the blueprints we need to finish that thing. Our new miners arriving on location. Okay. What are you complaining about? You can't find anybody willing to buy silicon. Well, I admit that is indeed a problem. However, it's not a problem I can really do anything about at the moment. Not for a long, long time. I wonder if I should set the pretender up. Here. Go ahead and remove that order. Can you do advanced auto trade? Yes, you can. Okay. Add remove wares. Let's have you haul Durasteel plates. And we'll do up to 3 jumps away from here to buy and sell. Boom. Better than having him sit around do nothing. And there appears to be a Durasteel plate shortage, so. Oh. Oh, oh. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We got a raider. Hello, Seahacks18. Hello, welcome here. Welcome, Raiders. Hello, Joanna Tries. Thank you very much for the follow. It's greatly appreciated. And thank you for the follow, Seahacks. Anyway, welcome here, everybody. Trying to make a little bit of money here and see if we can someday afford a better ship. More rather, not so much better ships as more ships. I have the Star Wars Interworlds mod, so started the game. I picked a game start that is somewhat difficult. Started me off with a TIE Defender, a few TIE Interceptors, and a little, I don't know what you want to call it even. Cruiser, I guess is what they call it. Not sure I would call it a cruiser. It doesn't seem to be very well armed, but anyway. You've been blowing up New Republic stations? Pretty sure I don't have anything capable of blowing up a station just yet. At least not in any reasonable amount of time. But got the first 2 miners complaining that they can't find anybody who's buying silicon. And the 3rd miner is going in... Should be hauling ore right now, actually. Probably just sold his first load. Hasn't shown up in the logbook yet. Yeah, there we go. Our 3rd miner just sold his first load of ore. It's kind of unfortunate because ore doesn't sell for very much, but at least there's demand for it. And our poor cruiser. What do you mean no trades found? There's plenty of people selling Durasteel plate. I thought. Yeah, right there's some. Okay. Let's go buy some more satellites and do a little more satelliting. It's going to cost us a lot of money, but
Jump beacon. Hov.
I don't think there's any other option at the moment. There we go. Aside from a few little wrinkles that may or may not be bugs, things have been going pretty well.
Jump completed. Hov.
In particular,
Jump beacon. Anot.
the faction whose space I'm currently in, I'm at like plus 14 rep or something with them. Oh wait, no, I figured out what the problem was yesterday. Not yesterday, last time I played, didn't I? Yeah, because I need to have I need to have a station here before they'll rank me up. I remember now. Yeah, I was about to complain that I'm not sure why I'm not ranking up, and I just remembered that I did figure it out earlier. Anyway. Not that I have money to buy any of the things I would want to buy that I could gain access to from ranking up anyway. Currently we have less than 1 million credits. Lurking while you play a while? That's fine. I usually wear lurk when I watch streams too. Just have some pleasant background noise. Chips are expensive in this mod. Yeah. Thankfully, you can still get medium miners for less than 2 million. But things certainly seem kind of pricey.
Jump completed.
Which just
Anode.
means I need to build an economy quicker. Okay, right over here should be the wharf. Get all lined up on that. This counts as socializing. Well, maybe a little bit. Alright, let's go dock and buy some satellites. A full load of satellites is going to be not cheap, because I refuse to use the basic ones. I'm just going to want to replace those with good ones later anyway, so...
Docking granted.
Hello, Treebeard. Well, it's going really well. Money is finally being made, and you can actually occasionally buy things. Alright, upgrade and repair. Consumables. Advanced satellites. Yeah, okay, that's not too bad. Go ahead and confirm our order. Alright. Now that I have some satellites, I need to decide where I want to start spreading them. We probably should just start down here in the south end and work our way north. Papering everything as we go. This is going to really cut into our profits. But it's going to help a lot in the long run. So... do I want to put one...
Serious damage.
Where? One here? Uh-oh. He's being attacked by the Ascendancy. Well, that's no good. Oops. That might have killed him. He's taking some amount of damage right through his shields, which is very not good. It looks like he'll probably survive, though. I hope. Okay, maybe he won't survive. That would be extremely unfortunate, because we're kind of far away from there and really can't do much about it. Well...
Autopilot engaged.
Don't think there's a lot I can do about that. We're just gonna hope he can make it to land, to a dock, quickly enough that he doesn't die. That's my extremely expensive investment right here. Now he's getting really beat up. They're shooting right through the shields too. Please stop. Damn it. Scum. That was a very expensive ship. that we definitely cannot afford to replace. Oh well. Oh well. At least they're mostly ignoring my silicon miners who aren't making money either, I guess, because they're all sitting around waiting for room to free up in the
Jump
silicon
completed.
mines.
Puff.
Actually, wait, are they? This warning was from an hour ago. Okay, is this the... I hate this so much. You get warnings here that you can't get rid of and they never disappear. And then you look at it and go, oh no, it's, you know, failing on something. It's actually not. I mean, there's a chance that it is, but it looks like it's currently got the mine resources task going. And it is currently empty. So it just sold recently. Same with this one. It's currently mining. There is no reason for that orange warning. You just can't get rid of it. I hate that so much. That's a base X4 problem. I wish there was a mod or something that could fix it, but I'm pretty sure there isn't.
Jump completed. Estigna.
Basically, it makes those "your ship is locked up" warnings useless. Because you can never trust them.
Going down.
No. No, I'm not. I'd like to somehow get friendly with the Imperial Ascendancy. I need to figure out a way to do it with either them or the basic Empire. Because I need a source to buy new ties. However, both are pretty negative at the moment. And options for getting not negative
Jump
with them
completed. Terminus.
are either tedious or difficult or more likely both. Because the easy way to raise rep with a faction I'm pretty sure isn't going to work at all. But basically I need to try to find stuff of theirs that's being attacked and clear out attackers. But only close to their stations, because otherwise it won't count. Which is moderately annoying. At some point I'll have to figure it out. For now, I'm just going to try not to antagonize them.
Autopilot. Disengaged.
That said, antagonizing may be a perfectly valid strategy, because is that going to be a good place to drop a satellite? Don't think so. I think we want to be a little closer. We'll try to put one there.
Autopilot. Engaged.
Antagonizing may be a perfectly valid strategy, because in some ways I'd like to own their space instead of being friendly with them.
Autopilot. Autopilot. Engage. Autopilot.
Oops.
Disengage.
There we go. Okay, we'll drop a satellite here. That's a pretty good spot for it, actually. We'll put another one over here. I don't care about being able to see the defense platform, because that doesn't sell anything I want.
Autopilot.
Yeah.
Engaged.
And then we'll deploy another one here. And one here, I think. Something like that. It's going to take almost a full load of satellites just for this system. And we're going to be leaving off a few places that are not that important. This mod nuking your satellite capacity is... I assume you're probably supposed to be using small light freighters and stuff for this kind of task instead of fighters. I'm kind of ambivalent about it. I don't have any light freighters. Which I actually...
Autopilot disengaged.
I have not checked. Okay, let's go ahead and drop a satellite. Perfect. Good placement. I put one right here. Maybe we can cover everything we care about.
Autopilot engaged.
I think that'll work, actually. If it doesn't, I'm going to be mildly sad, but... Anyway. It doesn't really make sense that your average little fighter would be able to carry like 50 satellites in storage. But it does make it a little harder to have a well-loaded personal ship when you're using a fighter as a personal ship. Anyway, it's not a big deal though. It just means you have to run back and forth to the wharf more often. Okay, so if you can get away with one here, that'll mean this system is covered enough for my purposes. And this system... Ship Technology Factory. What even does this one offer?
Autopilot disengaged.
I might have to stop by there and see if that's even worth dropping a satellite on. Oh, thank you very much for the follow, Net2000 man. Greatly appreciated.
Jump beacon Estegna.
Alright, so this satellite covers everything I wanted to cover. Obviously I would want to put a lot more satellites in here someday in the far distant future, but for now, I'm reasonably happy with the amount we have. This place, I'm trying to decide if I want another satellite in it or not. If I place one right in the middle between these two, maybe I can cover them both. I don't think I care about these stations.
Jump completed.
Yeah, what are they again?
Estegna.
Helium refinery, antimatter converter factory. Actually, maybe I do care about those.
Autopilot
We'll try placing a single one
engaged.
here. Any other games I get into? Oh yeah. Every Thursday, I tend to play an old game from yesteryear. So
Go away.
currently that means Tropico 4. But it's been a pretty eclectic list in the past. All sorts of random and weird games that I used to play years ago. On weekends, so starting tomorrow, I tend to play some kind of factory game. Currently, we're in the middle of a playthrough of the Mindustry campaign. After Mindustry, I'm not entirely sure. But that'll be a few weeks yet before I have to decide on that one. And then sometimes mixed in is all kinds of random games. Hello?
Some excuse for a pilot, you are.
TIE advanced.
I want a TIE Advanced really badly. Okay, what does this guy think he's doing? I know what I think I'm doing. I'm trying to stay in a position where he can't hit me so I can regen my shields, but...
I've got my eye on you.
Okay. It's Imperial Ascendancy, but...
For that pilot.
I give you 2 free hits and you can't even secure the kill? There we go. Wow. That's mildly unfortunate. I'd rather stay friendly with the Ascendancy, or less hostile with the Ascendancy, maybe. You love X4? Your current playthrough is Smuggler 1, in a race to 10 million credits? X4 is definitely my main game, I would say. But I don't want to be stuck playing a single game all the time, so I tend to mix it up a little occasionally.
Jump beacon. Hub.
Like last night. Last night? No, night before last. Because last night was Nostalgia Night and I played Tropico 4. But, night before last, I got stream started late because I was too busy working and didn't notice what time it was. And since I don't really like playing X4 unless I have at least 2 solid hours to dedicate to it, I played a little bit of Creeper World 3. Just totally random pick, just went through my game list and went, oh hey, I haven't played this in a long time, and fired it up, and that was what we played for an hour of stream. Short stream because C also started late, but usually I don't tend to drop just a random game like that unless I have some strong reason. But it does happen occasionally. Jump around between 10 different playthroughs, each different game start. I tend to play the same start until I have accomplished whatever goals I set out to accomplish in that one. Which, that can be all kinds of random things. It depends entirely. Well, depends on a lot of things. Okay, this isn't covered. That's unfortunate. Let's go back and grab that satellite. I don't like where it's at.
Advanced satellite.
Anyway. Usually somewhere through the run, I'll decide what the objectives for this run are going to be. And then kind of make a formal list of stuff I want to accomplish, and then that's what gets done. And then when that's finished, then start a new run. This run is still young enough that I haven't even gotten close to deciding what I want the objectives to be. Also, this is kind of my, well, this is my first run of this mod, for that matter. So I really don't have any idea what will eventually, or how things will eventually turn out. Okay, that's a reasonable placement for that, I guess. We're going to want another one probably over here. And one for that high-tech factory, and one for the ice refinery, maybe? In any case...
Jump beacon. Anode.
Back to the wharf. Looking for something new? In X4 or out of X4? There's a chance, but there's a chance that I might stream some Borrow Trauma. But I have no idea when, because if I do stream Borrow Trauma, it'll be with Af. He's a buddy of sorts who streams. And when I stream with Af, it's pretty much entirely down to the whims of Af, whether, when, and where it happens. Never played X4, just learned about it from Axe. It's a really fun game, but it's a massive time sink to get anywhere.
Jump completed. Anode.
Okay, I want to go ahead and stop guidance.
Wharf.
Let's go to the wharf. Yeah. Anyway, I used to play X3, although that was long before I started streaming. And I never got very far in it, mostly because I just didn't really want to sit down and dedicate the time to it that I am willing to dedicate to X4 nowadays. So I'd mostly just run around and play Cool Fighter Collector and then get bored and quit. Unfortunately, that's not really a good way to get the most out of an X game. But I did quite enjoy my time with it anyway. And so then, finally, when I got around to X4, I don't even remember why I started playing X4.
Granted.
I think I just kind of decided to do it one day. And that's been the main game around here ever since. Okay. Let's go ahead and pay for repairs, because might as well. I don't think I have any repair crew on this thing, which probably I should change. Okay, how much is this going to cost me? Not too much. It's expensive, but... Alright. So, next set of satellites, where do we put them? Do we put more in Hoth, or do we put some in Bespin, or... Actually, you know what? Bespin's a good idea. We'll put one... there.
Autopilot engaged.
Okay. Yeah. Tomorrow, being the weekend, we'll be playing some Industry, of course. I thought for sure last week that I was going to finish the campaign, but things are taking a lot longer than I had initially assumed. But with luck,
Completed.
we will at least finish a couple missions and make some solid progress. Industry's pretty cool. It's a it's kind of like Factorio, but it's a little more focused on the combat. Okay.
Autopilot disengaged.
Play an advanced satellite. That's a pretty good drop. And then we'll put the last one for this system over here.
Autopilot engaged.
Anyway. I'm not even quite sure how it ended up being that weekends were the factory game time, but I'm pretty happy with that, the way it's been, and definitely looking forward to tomorrow. How much money do we have? 799,000? Yeah, okay, that's unfortunate. We can't buy a replacement for that ship the Ascendancy blew up. I really kind of need to decide if I care about the Ascendancy
Autopilot
in any particular
disengaged.
way. Okay, that's a good drop. Do I want to put something near the Tabana refinery? I probably should, just so I don't forget it's there.
Autopilot engaged.
How many satellites do I have? 3. Okay. Actually, wait, I do want the map open for now. Why do I have deployable selected there? Pretender, how much money have you been making me? He has been sitting there doing nothing the whole damn time. Seriously? No, okay, he's actually setting out to go buy some hull parts, it looks like. Alright. Bit
Autopilot
unfortunate.
disengaged.
Okay, where exactly is this Tabanagas?
Tabano Refinery.
Oh, it's above me. Okay. So we are close enough to it that the advanced satellite will be able to see it. That's what I cared about. Alright, from here we will then go to there, I think.
Autopilot.
Yeah.
Engage.
That should be close enough to get a good view of the gate, get a good view of this microchip factory. And then we're going to want to place our last satellite over here by this wharf. Because then we can also stop in at the wharf and grab more resources. Probably should drop a satellite here. Do I really want to go north from there, or do I want to go over to here? We're about one good satellite away from having this system more or less covered. I do have a satellite next to that refinery, don't I? Yes. This is an ore refinery. It doesn't actually produce the hull plates. We need to figure out who is producing the hull plates and where. Which shouldn't be hard.
Jump completed. Duranthum.
Okay.
Autopilot.
Who
Disengage.
sells durasteel plates? This ship technology factory does. Alright, well, anyway. We're at our satellite drop location. Okay, that's actually a really good placement. Let's go put another one right there. That looks like a good spot.
Autopilot. Engage.
And if we misplace it, we can always pick the satellite back up and move it. Okay, actually, do I have any information on the storage for this ore refinery? Yes, I do. It is pretty full on ore, actually, but it's not very full on refined metals. Oh, our station here is being built. Or it was. Yeah. Earlier this was saying 22, now it's saying 14, so
Autopilot.
it is 36% done. So we apparently got a delivery of stuff at some point. It'd probably help if we gave it more money. How much do I currently have? We'll give it another 500k, I guess. Or, well, almost 700k. You have a trader stopping the drop for module prefabs. Okay. Module prefabs are pretty expensive when I remember. Wait a second. I need 638. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Most of the module prefabs are being taken up in the energy cell and the refined metal, I bet. Oh, actually not. Oh, energy cell production is really expensive. Why? That's interesting. I wonder if they've increased the production speed of them or something. Kind of doubt they would. We're probably going to end up having to import energy cells anyway, but... let's drop a satellite. check the placement. That's actually a little better than I thought it was
Field
going to be.
station.
Now let's go buy more satellites.
Docking granted.
Alright, there we go. Upgrade repair. Buy advanced satellites. They're actually a bit cheaper here than the normal place I buy them at. It's nice. Okay. So where do we put the next satellite? Advanced Electronics Factory. I kind of want that covered. So we'll drop a satellite there, I think.
Autopilot.
Yeah.
Engaged.
That's a good place for it. And then we need to put one, probably two over here, actually. We put one here. Well, no. We put one here first. Which I wonder if we put one here if we can cover all three of these. There's at least a slight chance. But I'll try to cover them with one, and if that doesn't work, then we'll have to build two. Worst case, we just pick the satellite back up and move it. That's not a big deal. Should probably place a few more in this system as well. It's kind of surprising though, just how expensive that solar panel is. I wonder if that's because, if they changed, the mod changed it because solar panels are otherwise really cheap. Like, they don't require any upkeep or anything.
Autopilot. Disengaged.
The problem with that,
Jump beacon. Villa.
in my opinion, vanilla solar panels are actually somewhat balanced. Because solar cells are so cheap. They're almost not worth building.
Villa.
Did I want to jump through there? I don't think I actually did. I am actually quite certain I didn't actually want to do that. I did not want to do that. Alright, back we go.
Jump completed.
Okay, where do I want to go from here? We've satellited this system up to a degree I'm fairly happy with. Let's go put the next satellite there.
Autopilot. Engaged.
Okay. So how are things going with the Pretender? Where is the Pretender? It's in Hoth. With a full load of Durasteel plates. Alright, good deal. How much money are you making? None yet. Okay. I've never had any luck
Jump
with freighters.
completed. Raider Jevin.
They always seem to make less money even than an ore miner. And ore miners don't make much money. Not that ship is actually a freighter, but it can haul some amount of freight. And it might as well work instead of sitting there doing nothing. Eventually I want to get satellites.
You're finished.
enough that you can actually see the whole system. You always manually stack traders when you've got enough money for stations. Once stations are up, you relax. I always tend to build miners. Particularly silicon miners. Because traders never seem to make me money. They don't lose money, they just make very little money, very slowly. Compared to silicon miners, which make hundreds of thousands per run. Okay.
Autopilot.
How's the
Disengage.
coverage? Actually better than I expected. Good. Okay, so that one is plenty for that. Rhodium refinery. Rhodium. I'm not sure how that's actually pronounced. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We should probably go drop a satellite on that.
Autopilot. Engaged.
Yeah. Anyway. Of course, the problem with miners is there's
Jump
plenty of AI
completed.
miners usually.
Price list.
And so that really hurts your income after a bit. You usually get a large freighter once your mining fleet is up, and you use the trade filter to find and stack trades. Yeah, every time I try to do that, I always end up with lots of trades that don't make me much money. Make a little here and a little there, and occasionally you'll find a trade that makes quite a lot, but definitely ordering them around manually is the way to go if you want to actually make a lot of money. But then that ends up being a lot of micromanaging. That, a lot of times the way I play, I tend not to need that much money. Because I usually... Wow. Okay, how is the solar power plant going? I keep calling this a solar power plant. It isn't. Usually get between 500k to 1 mil per trade in profit. That's pretty profitable trades then. Nice Star Wars. This mod's pretty cool. I really wish that somebody somewhere would make a Star Wars game like this, but more Star Warsy, if that makes sense. So instead of having jump beacons, you would have some kind of working hyperdrive type thing. I don't think EgoSoft would be the right choice, to be honest.
Disengage.
I can't think of anybody who would be the right choice, though.
Jump beacon. Raider Jevin.
This will probably be the best we get. Yeah. Yeah. Like some kind of interesting hyperdrive system. You know, an actual hyperdrive system. Not the gates. Which admittedly are pretty well done as far as like a mod, what's capable of mod doing, but you know, what a mod is capable of doing. There we go. Empire is pure evil? Well, that depends on exactly which era of the Empire you're talking about. But in general, sort of. TIE Fighter's a bit weird in this, but it works, I guess. Yeah, because traditionally most of the TIE Fighters don't have hyperdrives. Or shields.
Jump completed. Raider Jevin.
I know the TIE Defender had both hyperdrive and shield. But standard TIEs, the TIE Interceptor, the TIE Advanced had a shield, I think, but not a hyperdrive. Can't remember for sure, though. Don't quote me on that one. Okay, this was an empty system. I'm pretty sure I scanned it. Actually, how could it be empty and be marked as owned by somebody? You might want to go back and scan this one again. Okay, we got Tabana Refinery there in the middle of nowhere. These systems up here are kind of places that don't go much, though. Yeah, any kind of fighter is good in a swarm. In my first run of vanilla, I was using giant swarms of whatever they're called now, the Yaki fighter. What is that thing called again? Morea. I love the Morea. It is basically without question my favorite ship. Unfortunately,
Engage.
the AI using a Morea isn't necessarily the best in the world. They do okay. But in large swarms, it didn't matter. They had a squadron of 200 TIE Defenders in this. They destroyed everything. Yeah. I bet they did. Particularly if they were outfitted anything like this TIE Defender is. Only problem was lag. Performance does tend to get pretty bad later in the game. Which is really unfortunate, because this game, the way it's designed, would lend itself really well to being multi-threaded. They just don't do that. It's really quite kind of sad. Because if you think about it,
Jump
each
completed.
hex
Duranthum.
can be simulated individually. And the only thing you would have to do that has to be synced would be anytime somebody crosses through a jump beacon. And it doesn't matter from a game perspective if you delay passing through a jump beacon by a frame or two. So you can just simulate each hex completely separate from the other hexes. And then when you go try to jump through a hex, you just move that ship onto a list of stuff that has to be resolved at the end of the frame. The same way with accessing station inventories. You just work with information that's slightly old. And then kind of do a quick confirmation pass or something at the end of it to make sure it'll still sync up. Well, what you'd really do is you'd write ships that are accessing inventories outside of their hex to a different, like planning a route to go buy something at a station far away. You write that to a list to be done after the main stuff has been resolved.
Jump completed. Vespin.
But that's just kind of, there's a certain amount of syncing would have to be done after the end of the main simulation. But stuff like thing A shoots thing B, that can be simulated completely separate because obviously they're in the same hex. Anything having to do with stations, except being trading with somebody who's in another system, can be done separately. Like any kind of simulation tick as far as... Is somebody damaging my ship? No, they're not. Okay, they're just shooting each other. I always get worried when I see something like this because I'm not quite sure who that health bar belongs to. In this case, it belongs to someone not me, so I don't care. But anyway, you could do a really excellent job of splitting this game up across a bunch of threads and have it be way more performant than it currently is. Unfortunately, that's not the world we live in.
Autopilot disengaged.
Maybe someday, but honestly, I kind of doubt it. Game devs seem to have this major aversion to doing anything multi-threaded, and it annoys the heck out of me.
Autopilot engaged.
Well, multi-threading, it's both much harder and much easier than people think. It requires a great deal of discipline, and it requires, well, to be honest, it requires a lot of the same things as lockstep netcode. And what I mean by lockstep netcode is, like, for example, the same kind of netcode as Factorio uses, where everybody simulates the game on their system so that everything is fully deterministic. What am I drinking? Just water with a little bit of Gatorade powder in it. Basically the kind of netcode that older RTSs used, where the game is very deterministic and everybody runs the simulation on their system. It seems like the easy way to do multiplayer, but it's actually really hard because there's a shocking number of things that are not deterministic. Deterministic meaning that if it's done on everybody's system, it comes out the same way every single time. For example, a lot of floating point operations aren't deterministic. Floating point being a number with a decimal point, as represented by most computers.
Jump beacon. Hug.
A lot of basic floating point operations are deterministic, but not nearly all of them are. So you have to be very careful which ones you use, or you just have to flat out say no floating point math is allowed, which is of course easier. Basically, it requires a lot of very careful discipline when you write the code to make sure you never do anything that can be not deterministic.
Jump completed. Hug.
What floating point operations are not deterministic? I don't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to look it up. I'm pretty sure things like basic addition, subtraction, multiplication, those are all deterministic. But some of the things like, I'm pretty sure some of the trig operations, for example, aren't. And there's something else I'm not thinking of. Yeah, I don't remember. I read an article about it once, a couple years ago. Exactly what hoops you have to jump through to get floating point to be fully deterministic on all systems.
Agricultural goods factory.
But I don't remember the details anymore. I just remember that it was a bit of a pain in the ass. But anyway, so like all the desync bugs, I used to pay a certain amount of attention to the Factorio bug tracker because I found it kind of interesting. And the number of desync bugs they dealt with
Solar power
is
plant.
just insane. And they were, following standard precautions to try to make sure everything was deterministic, and they still screwed up a lot. But anyway, you kind of have to do the same amount of stuff for multi-threading. It's different, though, because you're not dealing with determinism bugs, you're dealing with race conditions. And you're dealing with locking and making sure that you never... Okay, let's drop a satellite over here. Actually, wait, I don't have any satellites left anymore. We gotta go buy more. So that means...
Jump beacon. Anot.
We're going over there. Anyway, race condition is where you have a bug that is caused by two things trying to access the same value at the same time, either reading or writing to it, and non-deterministically having fun and exciting things, because one of them writes to it before the other reads to it, and then all kinds of weird and exciting things can end up happening. You can have, depending on how complicated of a value it is, you can have a read in the middle of a write, so the value is in a invalid state, because the first thing started changing it, and then the other thing read it and got a kind of half-changed weird mess. So you have to be very careful who is allowed to read what when. So you'd use various locking mechanisms to stop, basically block anybody else from accessing the thing while you're doing something with it. To very greatly simplify it. So you have to spend a lot of time designing your system around
Jump completed. Anot.
not allowing concurrent access to things that are not thread safe, or controlling said access. It's, oops, that was not the button I wanted. I wanted this one. There we go. So it requires a lot of discipline and some forethought. But honestly, if you come at it from the right direction with the right design, it's not that hard. Now, I am somewhat reliably informed by some of the people I work with that my definition of not that hard is a bit skewed when it comes to that particular topic. So, you can take that with a pretty big grain of salt. But anyway, they would probably have to redesign the engine from the ground up to make it really work well. The problem is just it's conceptually, it would be so easy compared to some of the things that I've had to deal with before. I'm sure, given enough versions, they will eventually have to do it. Because processors aren't getting much faster nowadays. I mean, they are getting a little faster, but not as fast as they used to. They're just getting more parallel. Where exactly do you want to drop this? I think over here is good.
Autopilot engaged.
Probably actually there is better.
Autopilot engaged.
Now, I should look that article up again about floating point determinism, because now I'm kind of curious. I think they had it saved somewhere. Gaffer on games? It could be.
Immediate backup.
Actually, here, wait. Give me a second. Let me look this up. I'll look at...
Jump completed. POV.
Okay. Floating point determinism. Gaffer on games. Let's look at this. Yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure this is the article.
Disengaged.
Unfortunately, the answer is not a simple yes or no, but yes if. Actually, his whole article, the whole article series on networking for game programmers is not terrible. And it applies to more than just games. Seems to be talking about determinism across simulations, which is a little different from floating point deterministic. There's, let's see, let's find a, skim this a little bit. He's talking about physics, which requires some floating point. Let's see. Here we're talking about x87. Yes, x87, not x86, because old x86 processors used to have a x87 floating point coprocessor. Specifically the 486 and before. I think after that there was built in. He has an article about lockstep simulation as well somewhere. Okay, let's see if we can find a good quote here. Basically, it depends a lot on exactly what kind of FPU hardware you have, and all sorts of fun stuff can break. I think this article doesn't have... there was another article I read. I don't remember where it was. This is one of the articles I'm thinking of, but there's another one too that gives some actual code and why it doesn't work on different systems. Like, fun and exciting ways it can break. Anyway. You're all here to watch X4, not to hear me ramble about programming. Let's drop another one over here, I think.
Autopilot engaged.
Ramble away. Oh. The main language I work with a lot nowadays is Go. And that has really good support for concurrency built in, which helps make it a little easier. If you're dealing with a language like C, just raw C, that definitely makes it a lot harder and more painful. Okay, we're still short on module prefabs, which is unfortunate. Although C is probably better than some, simply because you can kind of assume that the person who's working in it probably knows what they're doing about certain things. And are going to be much more comfortable with lower level concepts in the first place. Although that's not always true. I've seen some truly awful C code written by noobs who heard that C was the best and went with it. Poor suckers. Although they did get an amazing opportunity to learn really fast.
Disengaged.
Okay. I'm going to drop one more satellite right here, and I think this system is about as covered as it's going to get until later in the game.
Engaged.
C is honestly not that hard as long as you understand, well, as long as you understand some concepts like exactly how pointers work and that kind of fun stuff, which actually is surprisingly difficult for a lot of people. And the problem is, it's one of the things that...
Empty space.
It's one of the first big things that's going to trip somebody up who's learning how to program, is pointers. They're conceptually either very simple or very difficult, depending on the person. And if you're the kind of person who finds pointers to be very difficult, you're going to be on the struggle bus from day one. Well, as soon as you get that far in. As a concept, they're pretty easy, but as a tool, they're dangerous. Now, you say they're pretty easy, but I know some people who can't get pointers through their head. Which I just cannot fathom, even though, well, it's like, but how though? How do you not get these things? They're so easy.
Autopilot engaged.
Please hold. We will be scanning your inventory.
I mean, if you can catch me, sure. I don't think he's going to be scanning our inventory. The problem is pointers are so fundamental to the way computers work that if you're using a language that doesn't have them, and it's not like a simple scripting language or something, you can be a little crippled. Damn it. My phone just recognized that, oh, hey, I'm actually connected to the internet. I maybe should spew all the notifications to the computer. Okay. Thankfully, those aren't captured on stream, or you guys would have to deal with a whole load of notifications in the bottom right corner. Okay, where are we and where are we going? We're going out there. All right, good deal. Please don't smack into the edge of the ring. Yeah. I got a little deal on my computer that copies notifications over, so I don't have to reach for my phone all the time when it dings. Unfortunately, sometimes the phone decides that it doesn't want to recognize that it received a bunch of notifications, and all of a sudden they all come through at once later. It's very annoying. But anyway, back to pointers. Oh. For people who don't just get them, or figure them out fairly quickly, well, I guess that's where you get programmers who write terrible code from. Because believe it or not, there are people who make a living programming.
Autopilot.
And
Disengage.
you wonder how they ever got hired. I don't know if any of you are programmery enough to have ever encountered the FizzBuzz interview question. Which, for years, I thought that was a joke. It's not a joke. Basically, it's an extremely simple little problem that... Oh, how's it work exactly? Basically, you count from 0 to 100. Or is it 1 to 100? I don't remember. Anyway, you count from something to 100. And for every number that is divisible by 3... I don't remember the rules off the top of my head. I'm probably going to mangle this. But anyway. 1 to n.
Jump beacon. Hub.
Anyway. For every one that's divisible by 3, you output one thing. For every one that's divisible by 5, you output something different. And for every number that is... I don't remember all the rules. If it's divisible by both, you output both. Basically, it's just a pretty simple... Effectively, what you're doing is you're checking for divisibility on a couple different numbers. It's really simple. Depending on the language, 20 lines of code at the most. Yeah, well, there. Hack is saving us with the exact rules. Classic test given in coding interviews. Test is simple. Print integers 1 to n, but print fizz if integers divisible by 3, buzz if integers divisible by 5, fizz buzz if it's divisible by both, 3 and 5. And you print the number if it's not divisible by any of those. If I remember correctly. But anyway. Ah, sound bug. Yeah, that's basically the rules from what I remember. Looks about right. It's one of those little problems that when you encounter it, there's a strong temptation to just sit down and blaze through it and write it down and see how it works, you know?
Completed. Hub.
I think that's the only additional rule. It's really simple and short, not complicated to do. Crank it out in a few minutes, a couple lines of code. The problem is you need to actually know how to program to do it. Not program well, mind. You just need to know how to write a bit of code that does a thing. And it would really help if you knew about the modulus operator. Because without a modulus operator, you're going to be having some serious trouble. But as long as you know the basics of whatever language you're writing it in. Hello, Drake. We're just going off on a weird talk about programming bender. Speaking of which, where do we need to go next? Anyway, as long as you know the basics of whatever language you're working in, and usually you can use whatever language you want, because during an interview, they don't care what language you can program in, they just care that you can program. You're not going to have any trouble with it. But yeah, a surprising number of people who are trying to get jobs in programming can't do that test. It's honestly baffling to me how you couldn't, but they appear. And some of my coworkers who have been involved in hiring processes before are like, yep, I've run into people who can't do that. It's like, but how? They don't know. Somehow they, made it all the way through a college course or somehow got hired as a programmer somewhere else. And anyway. TIE Fighter? Yep. Star Wars mods are awesome.
Autopilot.
But anyway, let's go drop another satellite. I think I have another satellite on. I should probably check before I fly all the way over there. Yes, I do have one satellite left. I think this is probably going to be the last satellite we drop for a while. Actually, wait. Screw that. We're going to put it over here. That's a much more valuable place to put it. This shield component factory, who cares? Yeah, we got ourselves a TIE Defender here. Complete with the lovely double arrows on the side. Very Star Wars. For a second there, I thought autopilot was going to crash us. How is the rest of the Empire? Okay. We made a pretty good profit on that trade, it looks like. 30 minutes ago. This thing is really slow. Oh well. The miners continue to crank out cash. Quite a lot of it, actually. How much money do we have? Still not even a million. That's mildly annoying. Probably because we're spending most of it on our station here. Speaking of which, how are we doing on station money? I'm going to go ahead and give him some more money. This is why we're broke. Someday we will actually have the module prefabs we need to build this thing. Yeah, good night, hacks. Can you rant for a second? You can always rant, Drake. Anyone is always can do whatever they want in my chat as long as it isn't too annoying. Okay, so we'll drop off satellite here. Oh, and then I don't know what we'll do next. Something. I don't want to spend any more on satellites at the moment. We have most everything I care about covered. Yeah, we should be good on basic trading. If Twitch had typing notifications, it would probably say Drake is typing at the bottom. Okay. Hello?
Autopilot. Disengage. Autopilot. Engage.
Autopilot, are you awake? Flew right past our target. Not sure where those guys are going. I might want to do a long-range ping to see if there's something out there I need to know about.
Autopilot. Disengaged.
Okay, let's deploy a satellite. Okay. Ping. Got a something out there.
Unknown station.
Well, hello, unknown station way off the edge of the map. What are you? This is interesting and unexpected. It doesn't look like a Vong station, because I've discovered one of them already. It's a brewery. Okay. Just a plain old standard Federation brewery. Why is it way off the edge of the map, though? You don't know what it is about your playthrough, but the Xenon are going crazy? That sounds like fun. The Xenon in my games are always boring. They don't do enough. Although I have to admit, that's partially because I kept a lid on them pretty hard last time, I guess. Whenever this run finishes, which I don't think it's going to be for a while, and I have no idea what the end conditions are going to be for it, but I want to do a... probably a run where I do the Paranid story and play with, like, tuned up Xenon or something. Less than 30 hours in and several groups of I and 3K are wreaking havoc. Not sure what controls the difficulty of the Xenon. If they're on a timer, or if they just get there eventually based on their economy, or what. But I definitely want to figure out a way to get a run where the Xenon are just going nuts. Then I can pick a system that has most of what I need in it and hold the line against the Xenon horde before slowly making... Actually, that'd be a good opportunity to do a run where I completely exterminate the Xenon in the whole galaxy. Oh well, we're playing Star Wars now, not Xenon.
Jump beacon. Hov.
I don't know if I'm going to actually... I don't know what the end condition for this run is going to be. But I don't know how long this run's going to be either. Currently we're at 10 hours in, I think. 10 hours in? Something like that. I think that's what it said in the save when I was loading in at the beginning of the stream. Or just before I started stream, rather, I should say. World domination, obviously. I don't think I'm going to run this that long. Because, I'm going to be honest, I really like playing with the Star Wars ships. But that's the only thing about this run that makes it cool, is the Star Wars ships. And once I've experimented with the Star Wars ships a bit and had some fun, I'm probably inclined to go back to the slightly more familiar base game. Although I do want to get... I would really like an Imperial Star Destroyer if there is one. Is there a mod to bring the Star Wars ships into vanilla?
Last long.
I don't actually know. Probably. But I don't actually know. I do like the different factions and stuff in here, because the factions are much more complicated in this than in vanilla, which is cool. But yeah.
Jump completed. Hov.
This is going to be a probably shorter than normal run, regardless. And then we'll probably revisit this mod and after a few more runs. I just had to play Star Wars ships, and so we're doing a short, as short as any X4 run can be, aka not very. X4, or not X4, Star Wars intermission. Okay, how is this doing? It is actually building the energy cell production, and we have enough, not quite enough in stock. Alright, how much money do we have? We have not quite enough to buy everything. Go ahead and accept estimate. That uses up almost all of our money. So hopefully some of our miners sell their loads soon. It's a short run, 3 months later. Probably. But, well, X4 is a long game. I'm pretty sure these are just vanilla modules. This game's a very pretty game, though. I mean, obviously the station modules were not really lavished with a great deal of attention because who's going to be looking at them up close? It's not the kind of game where you just slowly fly around and look at things up close. I mean, unless you do. Also, X4 is how many years old now? It's definitely not new anymore. Okay, where am I and what am I doing? I am here, and I am doing nothing of any real importance. Okay, Pretender, do you have cargo? Yes, you do. Durasteel plates. Never mind, it'd be too long to explain. Ah. I should probably find a mission to do is what I should do. Patrol. Problem is patrols can either be pretty easy or very difficult, and I'm not sure. If we get any larger ships show up, we're screwed. I'd love to see this game with a modernized engine. It'd be drool worthy. Yeah. They would need to do some work on improving performance, though. Well, they wouldn't need to, I guess. But I would prefer if they did. Like, even being slightly aged. Because this is the same engine that was used for Rebirth, if I remember correctly. But even with a slightly older engine. Okay. Let's see if we can go
Jump beacon. Anot.
clear out those little problems. Even with the aging engine, this is still looks nice. One of these days, maybe when we finish Tropico 4, if I remember, I need to get Free Space 2 installed and take that for a spin again. I was just thinking about it earlier today. That's a really old engine that can actually look really nice with improvements.
Jump complete.
Not sure how many more streams it's going to take to do Tropico 4.
Hit.
But it's going to be a few. Don't remember how many missions we completed. I think we were like halfway through the campaign, and it's taken us 3 or 4 weeks to get there. Free Space 2 was definitely on the list of things I wanted to do with these sticks. And for some reason I keep forgetting about it every time it comes time to pick a new game for Nostalgia Night. But anyway.
Requesting immediate backup.
Somewhere, I think I still have all the files and stuff for the mods that let you play the Free Space 1 campaign and Free Space 2. And I have, oh, what's it called again? Shattered Armistice. The, oh, what is it called again even? The Free Space 2 mod for Battlestar Galactica. That's actually how I was introduced to Free Space 2.
You're it.
That was a pretty good Alpha Strike. Missed. Hey, stop shooting me. Bad. For that, you must go kaboom. Oh, we just got hit by something.
You're it.
Our shields are very low. That is very bad. See if we can get into a weird roll and recover our shields. Shield regen is so slow in this mod. It's not like base X4 where you have a long recharge, where you have a long, damn it, please stop. Ah, screw it. Okay, we can't wait out our shield recharge. Not in this mod. We're gonna have to use missiles too. Yes, I know my hull is damaged. Ouch, that was painful. That was very bad. Okay, we are absolutely not going to hang around here. We are regenerating some shield. Damn it! I was just...
Oh, critical.
No, stop. Bad. Let's try to make our way over here to friendlies. Okay, well, when was the last autosave? Let's see, 2207. Ooh, we were really close to getting a new autosave. Okay. Your younger brother was on a call. Very, very strained father. Now he's purposely ignoring you. Well, that's no good. Like to use a large, steady barrel roll, easy to hold. Yeah, so do I. The problem is it doesn't work for shit with this ship. And I'm not sure why. Every time I try to do it, it ends very badly. I usually hold a hard barrel roll and then hold the opposite thruster. And you're pretty much impossible to hit. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to work when I tried it in this mod. And I'm not sure what the deal is exactly. So I've been trying to find something else that throws their aim off, and I have been unsuccessful so far. I think it might be has something to do with I'm used to flying much faster fighters. Because the fighters in this are all really slow compared to what I normally mod my fighters out to. Or even my medium ships for that matter. I usually, if they're less than 500 or so, I don't fly them. I do prefer the TIE interceptors, but the TIE interceptors are so slow in travel drive. So I just keep using the TIE Defender. I really don't like the TIE Defender though, because it's markedly slower in combat. Someday, I will have both the money and the resources, the other resources, namely the knowledge required to know where to go get the right parts I need to actually have a nice fighter outfitted to be not terribly slow. I don't know what it is with X4 and thinking that fighters should be slow, but most of even the vanilla fighters are really slow. I think they just kind of need to bump everything up a few hundred meters a second. Like some of the vanilla fighters are just unusably slow, in my opinion. This one, the TIE Defender specifically, is fast enough to use, but not comfortable to dogfight with. The TIE Interceptor, I was extremely disappointed when I tried to use it. It was definitely faster. Also, the roll rate seems way low. That might be it too.
Jump completed. Hov.
Because this thing, it's not very snappy rolling. That is max deflection roll right there. Which is, yeah. So normally I'd do like this. Like this kind of. But that just, it does not work with this ship the way it's set up. And also, now that I've realized the way the shield recharge is working. Actually, can I? Let's go to the ship comparator. And let's grab a TIE Defender. We'll just do a high preset, because why not? Alright, 324 meters a second. What I'm really interested though is the recharge. Let's pick Novaldex 45s, which is what I have. Okay. That explains quite a lot, actually. Recharge delay is 10 seconds, so it's got the same long recharge delay as vanilla fighters do. Actually, that's on the short side for vanilla fighter. But it has a really low recharge rate. That's really bad, actually. If you strip the shields from a fighter, you're dead. Yeah. Even with what a game considers to be the best. Okay, that reduces fighter survivability substantially. Also, it greatly reduces the utility of the thruster. Or not thruster, but the boost. Which already was pretty nerfed. Like, boost speed is only... Well, boost speed isn't that bad, actually. However, what's the... does it give the amount of time you can boost for anywhere? I don't think so. And it's not part of the thrusters that lists it either. Definitely would want combat thrusters. I'm not sure why I put normal all-arounds on. Anyway. Yeah. That shield recharge rate is painful. That makes fighters way less viable for combat. I wish I'd realized that before. I'm not sure I agree with that change. Thank you very much. Okay, do I have... Okay, I do not have any satellites anymore, which means I deployed them all. Which means that we effectively haven't really lost very much. I'm not going to go tangle with these in this fighter because that would probably end poorly.
Jump beacon.
Okay.
Anot.
That definitely helps explain why combat has seemed so much more punishing than I expected. It's like, wow, why aren't my shields recharging? I think I figured it out. Why would they do that? Okay, whatever. Definitely, if we want to engage in any amount of combat, we're going to want to bring the Pretender into action. We can hold our own against 1 or 2 fighters. But any kind of sustained battle, just kiting them around isn't going to work. I miss my Maria.
Jump completed. Anot.
All last run because of the self-imposed conditions, namely only using Terran ships.
Requesting immediate backup.
I missed my Maria. And now this run I'm missing my Maria even more. Definitely, whatever shape the next run after this takes, it's going to include me doing the Yaki quest up to the point where I get a hold of a Maria as quickly as possible.
Docking granted.
Because not only do I want a Maria, but I also want the ship the Terrans give you. The Sin. Because that early Sin is huge for being able to easily take on Ks. Although, there's something to be said for
Illegal data on drone detected.
trying to do a run using no capital ships. Nah. Not yet, anyway. Let's see. The Pretender is sitting around not knowing what to do. We have almost 1 million credits, which is good because just a little... Oh, wait, no. I bet you that's what got unloaded. Yes, that is what got unloaded. Okay. I had earlier given more money to the construction process. Try and do a run with the limit of never buying a ship, only captures. That would also be an interesting one to do. Probably not the next one, though. The next one I probably want to just figure out a way to make Xenon really powerful without having to mod the game too hard. One well-equipped Dragon Raider and Ks go down fairly quick. True. You just need to get into their blind spot and then shoot the shields off with a shield-piercing weapon of some kind. But it would definitely be a bit of a challenge compared to the normal just shoot them way of taking out Ks. You did one of about 19 days in game time, was fun. Yeah, it sounds like it'd be interesting. It would definitely be... Probably the hardest part would be finding a good... or getting a good ship early on that can carry a lot of Marines. But I guess as long as you picked on things that didn't have much crew... Yeah, and you definitely have to be enemy with somebody who was not the Xenon. It's a pirate life for me. No, something like that. I don't think that'd be the next run, but that would definitely be a future run. That sounds fun and interesting. Well, Let's give this guy a little bit more money than he's asking for. Just a little bit. Like 80,000 or so. That should make sure he'll be able to buy everything he needs. Yeah. Hopefully we can get a miner assigned to this and get refined metals cranking out. I don't know how much demand there is for refined metals, but eventually I have a mission to turn this station into one that produces hull plates. So I want to have some refined metal production on hand for that. This is kind of a terribly designed station, to be honest. Oops. Didn't want to do that. Anyway. Yeah. Eventually. Someday we will have a station that's actually making money. In about 5 minutes, apparently. Actually, wait. Do we have enough to finish this thing even? We need 96 more module prefabs. Okay, we have 131 coming in. So hopefully they would arrive before it got that far. And we have enough energy cells. Yeah, okay. So we'll be able to supply him with everything he needs. This thing needs quite a lot of stuff, actually. Yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. What does matter is it's about 10:30. And this seems like it's good a time as any to save the game. Oh, you gotta get you some food. Well, an excellent opportunity for that is coming up right now. Because I'm ending stream. Let's see, who should we raid? Af is playing Phasmophobia. I do not like scary games. However, Avi is playing Arma. And that is really boring. Let's see, is there anybody in the X4 category who's doing anything interesting? No, because the X4 category consists of me. Kind of hate when that happens. All right, I'm going to drop you guys on Av. Because he has less viewers than Avi. And I just totally mangled that. There we go. All right. Tomorrow, I'll be back with some Mindustry. It's going to be a weekend stream. So I'll probably start around noon Eastern time. Give or take an hour or two. Usually I start later rather than earlier. And we will play that all the remainder of the day. Having fun, building cool turrets and defensive lines and factories and fun stuff like that. But until then, you can all go watch F get the shit scared out of him. And I am going to probably watch some YouTube or something and then go to sleep. So, have an amazing night and goodbye.